They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. To throw is Wilson. And he's got him. It's the tight end Cameron. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Again, it's Charles. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
Here's Wilson. He's got Curse. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a 1st down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Complete. Richardson has it. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Let's just go ahead and go back to that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do. And if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Manning, he's going to float this over the middle deep, and it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Charles the low setback. Now Wilson. It's caught. Cameron left side. Jordan Cameron, he's all alone. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Jordan Cameron with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And he puts it through. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, rolling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield, they're playing an excellent game.
And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense. Get a couple of first downs.
Odell Beckham Jr. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for some.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. Now out come the Giants. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. He's got Floyd out left. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Michael Floyd, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have tied it here, and they can take the lead if they hit the PAT. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now Wilson on second down. Complete outright to Kurz. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it second down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his pitch catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. They'll come out in the pistol. On second down, Jamal Charles. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. 2 yards to go here on third down. Short yardage situation. Here's Charles. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down. So on fourth down, here's the Canadian-born punter, John Ryan, to kick it away for Seattle. Back deep is Dwayne Harris here.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard. I know everybody's going to scream at the offense, but let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his left. And brought in by Jarrell Adams. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Manning now on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. And he's got it up and through. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now they're going to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Complete. Richardson has it. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers...
Now, a loose football. The ball comes out. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he will find his man on the outside. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Going underneath for Charles. And he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 before we get to halftime. Now Wilson. That's caught at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line. Now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They come out here in the eye. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. Second and goal to go now. Following the penalty, here's Charles. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. That'll be taken in the end zone. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They go play action here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And he's got some space here. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 3 yards to go here on 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's brought down. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it's 1st down, New York. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for,
and play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. One final try now for Manning. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. The grab made by Curse over the middle. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Jamal Charles, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Wilson going to throw for it. That's caught. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now they try the right side here. And now the rookie's free. The 20. And they finally bring him down, but he reaches the 16. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. And even 50 yards on the ground. And now a first down following that long gain. They come up in an offset eye. To throw, it's Manning. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Manning. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but at least it does draw them back level.
And that has to be job 1. A touchdown certainly would have been nice, but here you get back on the to try and get yourselves in front.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way we do.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
And that was well defended. And as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Surveying the field. Looking for his receiver. Sharp, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time, 1-play interceptions, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll keep it on the ground with Charles again. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
Here's Wilson to throw. He's got time in the pocket. That is caught at the 7. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Paul Richardson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So the D-line's going to spread out. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a cut to the left sideline. A big play there for the Giants. 52 yards. Yardage-wise, he's in the top handful of backs in the league so far this season. A great run there.
He's going to love that standing when it comes to contract time. But even more so, his team loves it because he gives them an identity and sets a tone.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now Wilson on 1st down. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a second down. Second down now after the pass completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's John Ryan now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They go back to the air here after the INT. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Back near the goal line. Here's Manning finding time. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the game this close.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Jamal Charles with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. They used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
2nd down and 4. Manning the throw on 2nd down. And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it. And the Seahawks have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jermaine Kearse hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back. But it's still a 3rd and 8. From the gun on 3rd down, Manning. He finds Beckham complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go.
He's got it at the 15. They get 31 yards that time. And it's good for a New York 1st down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people.
And now here's another interception. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Shift together here from the D-line. Now Wilson down around his goal line. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
Now Wilson. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and it's now 4th and 3.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. He's got time. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And the Giants' all-time leader in passing yards and completions and touchdowns, just another connection.
No doubt about it. That's the Eli Manning we know, pushing the ball downfield and with proficiency.
Now Manning, he's going to go up top. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
2nd down following the run. Now a handoff. This is Charles. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Here's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT. Surveying the field. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Manning to Beckham, a big play there. 42 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for him.
And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Here's Charles. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. These short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Escapes the sack. And that is incomplete. Here's John Ryan now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is Harris. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball. We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone.
And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. Will tie the intended receiver. Now 4th down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Now Manning, gotta have this one. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come out here in the eye. Oh, Wilson going to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there. And there we saw completion.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night from East Rutherford.